Flooding in Central Texas has taken at least 80 lives over the weekend. However, there is some good news here. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the devastating floods in Central Texas at a place called Kerrville on the Guadalupe River, not far from San Antonio, which has claimed the lives of at least 80 people so far, and there are many more who are still missing. So to those who passed away, may you rest in peace. Prayers out to your families. To those who are still missing, hopefully you get found soon and you get found healthy. Now, there's a lot I want to say, but first things first, to those who want to point fingers talking about, oh, this is Trump's fault. This is these MAGA's fault because they want to cut this and they want to cut that. Please stop. Listen, this river rose 30 feet in under 1 hour. What are you going to do with that? Yes, there was warnings. Yes, there was an attempt to prevent loss of life and injury and whatnot. But what can you do when you have a river that rises 30 feet in an hour? I've been in a flash flood before, and there's not much you can do. I'm just on the interstate, mind you, driving, and there's no rain. All of a sudden, it starts raining. And the next thing I know, on the interstate, water is almost coming into my car through the bottom of the door. It's crazy like that. Mother Nature, planet Earth is no joke. And you know what I got to do? I got to show you just how crazy this was so you get the full picture. This is going to be a TikTok video. I'll link to it in the box if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio. Go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's roll this.
Hey, y'all. Oh, my God. It is flooded out here in Central Texas. We just got a notice that we need to evacuate my apartment. Now, those of y'all that follow me, y'all know that I come out here on my patio often, and I show you where the deer and stuff are down there. He making rounds. He making rounds. He making rounds. But this is a river. We live in between two rivers, and this river is flooded. That is high. Like normally, I want to say that this is probably a good 12 feet above ground or more. Thankfully, we up here on the second floor, but the rain is continuing to come. It's supposed to rain all day, and it's getting pretty crazy.
So you see what's going on. I mean, what is normally a flat plain area with deer out there frolicking became a river. So what do you do with that situation? Even with advanced warnings and weather radar, it's only so much you can do. So this right here, you got a bunch of girls who are rescued because there's a Camp Mystic, and unfortunately, a lot of those girls might not be alive, but they had a camp right by the river, and when the floods came, a lot of them got swept away in the water, but thankfully, a lot of them have been rescued, as you can see right here in this video. So thank God for that. Shout out to the little girls out there. Hopefully they found all of them, but I know, unfortunately, some may not be able to be found because once that water starts flowing, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you could do in that water. Now, this young man right here is Scott Ruskin. He was able to help save 165 people on his very first mission. He is a Coast Guard rescue swimmer. Okay, so you can see he got a certification right by the pool. On his very first mission, he was able to save 165 people. A fantastic feat. And they were able to get an interview with him over on Fox. All right, let's check this out. And of course, again, all my links, all my videos will be in the description. Check it out.
Out on scene, we were kind of battling with my crew on the 6553. We were kind of battling some pretty bad weather for maybe 5 to 6 hours before we were able to get on scene. Once we got on scene, we were boots on the ground. We made the decision to leave me there. We figured we'd be able to hoist more people out on our helicopter with me not on it, and then I'd be able to help out the scene at Camp Mystic a little bit better. Just a lot of people looking very scared, very tired, cold, missing loved ones, probably terrified, honestly. And I was just trying to be a voice of calm and triage these people and get them to safety as soon as we could. We got on.
Right on. So again, Scott Ruskin, Coast Guard rescue swimmer. He was able to help save a lot of people in a very short period of time on the ground. As you heard him say, he was not in a helicopter. He was on the ground triaging people, and you can see the grand total right there. 165 souls he was able to help rescue. God bless you, sir. God bless you. We need a lot more of you in this world. Now, let's get to the news clip. This is going to be, what's this, NBC? Let's check this out right quick.
A desperate search and rescue mission is ongoing in the Texas Hill Country, where despite threats of even more rain, emergency crews are working around the clock to find 10 young campers among dozens still unaccounted for. Overall, the floods in Texas claiming over 80 lives. In Kerr County alone, 68 people are dead, according to officials, including 28 children.
I've seen it flood, but I've never seen it come up this high.
Some 400 first responders are now scouring the swollen Guadalupe River and its banks after a deadly and unexpected wall of water swallowed homes, RVs, and overwhelmed a summer camp over the 4th of July weekend. Carl Jeter helped rescue a woman hanging onto a tree above the river after her car was washed away by the fast-moving waters below.
It's a miracle that she did survive.
One of the biggest challenges for crews digging through debris piles that could swallow whole homes or trucks in a split second.
That water, people kind of underestimate the water. They think, okay, it's just a regular rainstorm. Water's on me. It's not really a big deal. But when there's so much of it and it's just moving, you can't stop it. It picks up everything. Homes, vehicles, any kind of land, dirt, tree, rock, everything's going to move when that water is moving.
My own mother watching as crews pulled multiple bodies from this pile on the banks of a river.
Officials say Camp Mystic on the banks of the Guadalupe has 10 campers and 1 staff member still unaccounted for.
We will remain 100% dedicated, searching for every single one of the children who were at Camp Mystic.
The camp sharing, "Our hearts are broken," alongside our families that are enduring this unimaginable tragedy. Mystic's owner, Dick Eastland, died trying to save his young campers, according to his grandson. At Camp La Junta, a neighboring boys' camp, one cabin was seen floating away.
Everyone over there could hear each other's cries and screams.
Officials say everyone there is safe and accounted for. Meanwhile, Kerrville mourning the loss of its high school soccer coach, Reese Sunker.
He was just infectious, and he was a great coach, a great teacher.
The beloved coach lost to the flood alongside his wife. Their 2 young children still missing.
I'm sure he fought like hell to get the kids and his wife to safety.
President Trump issuing federal disaster assistance for the state.
God bless the state of Texas. It's an incredible place.
And as the search continues, officials warning the danger isn't over, with heavy rainfall threatening even more flooding today.
Yes, Savannah, being in one's hometown is certainly an experience that I could have never anticipated, covering a tragedy of this nature. And to your question, yeah, growing up here, I remember my father bringing me to the river's edge from a safe distance whenever the Guadalupe did flood, and you could just see the power of that water and what it could do. And in this particular instance, the thing I keep hearing from folks is this was the perfect storm, dropping so much rain in such a short amount of time in the head.
Wow, look, see the time lapse? Hold on, let's go back a little bit. See the time lapse of how the water rose up.
From folks.
And again, 30 feet in 1 hour. That is just incomprehensible.
This was the perfect storm, dropping so much rain in such a short amount of time in the headwaters of this river that what resulted was this massive surge, the likes of which, if you were caught in its path, there was almost nothing you could do to get out of its way. Today, complicating the efforts are these massive debris piles that line the river for mile after mile. We know that crews are digging their way through each of them, and unfortunately, we can personally attest to the fact that multiple bodies have been recovered. That will likely only add to a death toll that a few days ago would have been thought as unthinkable, and yet this worst-case scenario continues to play out here in real time. City leaders asking everyone for prayers as they now enter day 4 of this tragedy that is very much continuing.
Yeah, so again, prayers out to everyone affected out there in Kerrville, Texas, near the Guadalupe River, where, again, and I can't stress it enough because this is very important, 30 feet. The river rose 30 feet in 1 hour. But as I close, I want to say this. Again, rest in peace to all those who died. Prayers out to their families, to those who are still missing. Hopefully you get found safe and healthy. But I know, unfortunately, based upon what we've been watching over the past few days, the death toll is going to rise. It's just really unfortunate. And what's even more unfortunate are the people who have two brain cells in their head trying to point fingers and blame people. I mean, this is Mother Nature. You can't really blame anybody for Mother Nature. It's just rain. What are you going to do? There's not much. There's advanced warnings and there's weather prediction and all of that, but there's only so much that can be done when you have this amount of rain that falls in a very short period of time. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about this tragedy? Could it have been prevented? Could it have been avoided? Do you want to blame President Trump or anybody else for cutting this funding or cutting that funding, although the cuts have not even come into effect, although it wouldn't have made a difference anyway because there were still advance warnings? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is really just a tragedy, really unfortunate, and I hope the people of this area are able to pick up the pieces and rebuild and press forward in their lives in the best way possible. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.